Hi, you know the drill. I'm just gonna check in um, if you can hear me. Um, awesome, you can. Awesome. Hi, soul being absolutely beautiful every time. It's your host, Rudo, Clear Channel of Sri Venus. So, welcome to my 3-day live series in here. So, I wanted to talk about the avoidance relationship attachment style, right? And a lot of people are not even aware that they have an avoidance attachment system style because, and I'm talking about the five, I believe there are five different attachment style. There's anxious avoidant, there's secure attachment, there's disorganized, there's, I forgot the other one, right? Just that how we attach to our relationships, how we attach to a relationship to ourselves, how we attach to a relationship with life, right? And oftentimes, I've noticed that with myself, how I attach in to one person might be different to how I attach to money, how I attach um, to my stability, how I attach to my sense of self. There's nuance to everything, and I know this is not the way the author intended to use these attachment styles, but oftentimes when we create, right, we're giving them so that they are developed further, so that you can use them to really deeply support yourself. So this is how I've been helping myself to really understand the nuance of my humanity and the nuance of how I can bridge my humanity to my soul, how I can bridge my limitlessness to my limitlessness, how I can actually use my limitedness to my advantage by anchoring into my limitlessness, right? How your human and your soul work together to actually help you expand faster, to go where you want to be faster. So when we talk about expansion is, this word is used so many times in the personal development um, industry, and when we're talking about money and when we're talking about getting things right, because it's attached to the idea of expansion, like, oh, we're going to get as much land as we can, we're going to get as much um, um, we're gonna charge and get all this stuff and get it right. That's the what we're working with in our psyche. So when we're expanding, it's all about dominating the external world, right? Most people, that's what they're thinking about. I want to get this. I want to get as much as I can. I want to fill my external world with as much as me, as much as possible. And oftentimes, I'm talking from experience. When we're doing this from a state of like, I have to do this, urgency, go, 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 super, super fast, you're coming from survival mode. And you might have everything that you have materialistically, you might have everything that you have in your current container, right? But you're going, 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 going. It's still survival mode, right? Survival mode is not really attached to what you have. It's a state of being. It's your baseline where you're creating from. So a lot of people are creating from avoiding this, processing this emotion consistently. They're always going, 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 hustling, 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 right? Doing, 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 forcing outcomes because they are uncomfortable with actually processing where the source of this emotion is coming from. And I'm not talking about this over processing emotion and sitting with your emotions that a lot of like um, wannabe hippies are doing, right? I'm talking about processing where you're actually going to the source of why is it that this is your baseline over and over and over again. And I'm talking about this from the assumption that that we create our external reality from within first. Our external world is responding to how we respond to our internal system. Our internal system being what is coming up in our thoughts, what is coming up in our emotions, how we treat our bodies, how we connect, what relationship we have with our spirituality, with our spirit. The external world is responding to that, right? And in your spirituality, how you relate to the gaps, right? To the unknowns. It's all being reflected into your external world. So it's an opportunity to really refine who you're being within yourself. And a lot of people are not doing that because they're fully focused on the external world. And the world is created and designed in a way that forces you to do that. And for you to really protect the integrity of your energy, you want to create in sovereignty to what the external world is created from. And this is where you can actually have a baseline that allows you to slow down and not co-create from survival. The world wants you to co-create from survival, because from survival, that's when you're willing to compromise your values. That's when you're willing to not create from your full worth, right? You fragment your wealth. You talk yourself out of your worth. You bend yourself, right, to gain status. You attach your worth to these external hierarchies so that you feel like, oh yeah, I'm enough. I'm that person. Instead of actually identifying what makes you that person already. Really coming within yourself and really calibrating your energy to reveal who your desire map is telling you that you are already. Your desire map being what is being ignited within you that wants to be birthed through your beingness, right? Not your doingness. The doer is the part of you that actually finishes the process of this, right? But your beingness actually allows you to embody who this desire is revealing you already are. We're leaving from the end, right? Neville Goddard students, hello, right? We're living from the end, but a lot of us are living in the end from ignoring and avoiding processing our emotions, the emotions that are tied to this identity that you had to have in order to survive this external world that doesn't want you to be sovereign from it. Because as a child, you know, you knew like, oh yeah, this is who I am, this is what I'm about. You felt your emotions. Yes, you didn't know how to regulate your own emotions and whatnot. You learned those things along the way. You learned like, oh, I need to be this person in order to get this and that. You really paid attention to your environment and created an identity around that unconsciously, because you're just like, we just have this wiring within intelligence within our bodies, right, within our beingness that allows us to be able to survive, to make sure that we survive. So when you are just going and focusing on expanding, focusing on like how much can I get? I want to get as much money as I can get. You are plugging into this capitalistic engine that is actually destroying the world, right? Because when you're just doing without actually slowing down to really pay attention to the internal motivation that is motivating you to do, right? You're not really in integrity, because the doing doesn't have urgency. There's excitement, there's openness, there's joy, there's wonder, there's curiosity, right? There's while not abandoning who you already are, not abandoning who you were, because all these parts of you that came to inform you on being who you currently are, they helped you in some sense, right? You wouldn't be who you are without these other parts of yourself. But when you abandon them by doing more, running away from yourself by filling up your schedule so that you're not still with yourself, so that you don't have a gap where you're being with yourself, you're actually avoiding yourself. So this is where in the attachment style, I forgot the real name, the attachment it'll be avoidant, right? And when you're like anxious avoidant, right? This is where you're responding to yourself from this state of being. You have this an anxious avoidant relationship with your being. So how do you transmute this? How do you work with this? You design your life in a way that actually allows you to create a safe space for this part, right? Not making it wrong, but seeing it as information and using it as a leverage for your security so that you have a secure relationship with yourself. So when you design your life that allows you to not make your anxious avoided part wrong, right? Because society right now, a lot of how we've been conditioned to think, we're taught to feed it, right? This is where we have these relationship channels that have these that normalize half-assing relationships, right? It's shallow relationship. There's no depth. There's no actually being seen. You're only being seen to, when you perform an identity, when you are who you need to be, what society tells you need to be in order to attract that guy, in order to attract that girl, right? But when you design your life in a way that allows you to respond to yourself in a secure way, you are actually able to bridge all those other identities that you had, right? You're able to bridge them together so that you actually access the wisdom. And when you access the wisdom, you're able to embody your wholeness. And when you have your wholeness, right? You have access to your wholeness. There's no running away from yourself. There's only amplifying. Expansion looks like amplifying. You're not running away from yourself and gathering all these things and expanding so that you feel better about who you're being. You're amplifying who you're being. You're celebrating who you've always been, right? You're allowing other people to see who you're being because you're secure within yourself. You have structured your internal relationship with yourself in a way that how other people show up allows you to deepen your relationship with yourself, to love yourself more, to have more self-respect, instead of having less of it, instead of them taking it away from you, instead of you needing to manipulate other people and to dominate other people in order for you to get what you want. There's no forcing. There's just pulling, right? Pulling by just being. Pulling by just being. And this is where you find that when you have a single thought, things start happening fast because you're in coherence, right? Your energy is not fractured everywhere. You're not running away from yourself. You're meeting yourself. You're being one with yourself. And now you're actually attracting your desires from truth, not these distorted desires that have been manufactured through conditioning because you are trying to get something you didn't get in childhood. You're now, your desires are clean. They're anchored in your wholeness, not in your fragments, not in running away from yourself. So let me know what got activated within you. If you have any questions, if you want me to make a video on a certain nuance you picked up on, yes, put it down below. And if you resonate with this message, I created a system called the Sovereign Progression that helps you to actually clarify where you are internally, what you need to focus on next, right? To build, because there's a progression in how you create the structure to around your core self, right? To create around your inner security. There's a structure, just like how you have a foundation first, right? After foundation, you put the walls, right? And then you put the windows, the window frames, and then you put the ceiling. There's a progression. There's a clear structure that needs to happen for it to be stable and secure and endure. We're not doing speed, we're doing endurance first, endurance supersedes speed, right? So if this resonates, the link will be below where you can scan so you know where you are. Because once you know where you are, you know what the next step is, right? So see you on the other side.